tell us why it was important for Indian Country TV, for your outfit to be, to drive all the way from Wisconsin to be here for NAJA?
Well, it's always important to be here for NAJA to support our Native journalists across the country, and also the stories, especially the two stories today that were covered with the Seminoles being compared to terrorists. That's a very important, big issue. And I think what Tina Osceola had to say and the woman from Miami Herald was very important. And I think that the world in general needs to hear those stories. And if we're not here as Indian Country TV, what other journalists will come here and cover our stories? It's been very limited to get a national exposure. And the story on Annie Mae Pictou-Aquash, which has been going on for 35 years, there's things here that today that it's the first time. It's the first time Barry Bacharach has spoken publicly about, being Leonard's lawyer and about now being Arlo Lookencloud's lawyer and supporting the Aquash case. And
if you're not here, no one's going to cover this? I mean, is that safe to say?
Pretty much, and that's why doesn't people know about Perry Ray Robinson, the black activist who was murdered at Wounded Knee, because people aren't paying attention to what's going on.
How does this make it easier for them to pay attention? Like, how does this technology and Indian Country TV help make it more relevant?
Because we're getting the stories out, and we've created our own TV channel that's online that is sharing our stories with the world. If no one else is going to share our stories, somebody needs to. And that's what we're doing here, is here to share our stories and to do it in the newest technology, which, there's TV, there's newspapers, and as Native newspapers and the newspaper industry in general seems to be declining, we have to step up and continue to, if we want to survive, to continue to learn the new technology and move our stories to the new technology so that they aren't forgotten. And being able to bring it live for people shows that it's happening right now.
But does anybody watch? Does anybody see this?
Yes, we have people all over the world who are watching. We've had people from Norway, from Germany, from Russia, all watching today, all over the world.
And how hard is it to use? Like, if you click on Indian Country TV, how hard is it?
Very simple. You just push the little button that looks like a play button, and it'll pop right up, and people can watch it from their own computers. As long as you have high-speed internet, which is the norm pretty much today, then you can watch Indian Country TV. We have on-demand videos, which allows people to go back. Everything that we recorded live today will be in the on-demand file so that people can go back and watch it anytime. And the nice thing about the internet, it's there as long as our channel's there, forever. It's not like next month it won't be there,
And were Tina's comments, did you put these out live as well?
Yes.
So could someone watch this in Oklahoma live?
Yes. They were able to watch it live, and now they can go into on-demand because now that everything's done with, I've already moved the live show. We recorded it as it was live. I've already moved it into on-demand, so people can go and watch Tina's comments from the Seminole terrorist issue right now, anywhere in the world.
It's no longer, with the younger generation, Seminoles it's no longer enough just to have, they may miss the television, or they might not read the newspaper, it's got to be, I like what you were saying about you need to embrace these new technologies. Otherwise, it's irrelevant, right?
Exactly, and you got to be willing to come outside your box. So many people, like in the newspaper industry, they're just like, they don't have jobs because they're just headline writers or writers, It's
Same
like
with TV.
If you're an anchor, well, I know how to anchor, I know how to produce, I know how to direct. In a newspaper, I knew how to, and I still do, I can put the newspaper together from front to back, from selling the ads to writing the stories to writing the headlines, but it's kept us alive and surviving for 25 years. And I've been there 20 of the 25 years because of being able to be versatile and coming out of the box. And in this industry today, if you want to survive, you have to be able to come out of the box. I went from being newspaper to now doing online TV because that was the way to make our newspaper survive, which is very important in Indian country, because in actuality only 80% of Indian country isn't even online. That means only 10% is, 10% of 4,400,000.
It's not a lot.
No. So Indian country depends on this news from Indian country as a newspaper, but there's still over 400,000 Native Americans, Indians that are online. We need to service them as well. They're just as important. And so we're trying to combine both avenues, newspaper and the media as online media, and following the next generation.
Gotcha. Okay, I know your name, but just for the editor and the people back at Seminole Media, just give us your name and your title and who you work for.
I'm Kimberlie Acosta, and I work for Indian Country Communications, publishers of news from Indian countries, and IndianCountryTV.com.